Many people assume a big name crypto exchange is automatically a safe one, but a recognizable name only really tells you one thing. People know it. It doesn't prove safety. It doesn't tell you how customer funds are handled, how risk is managed, and what actually happens if something goes wrong. Of course, every exchange says it takes security seriously. So how do you tell the difference between a platform that says the right things and one that actually has the systems to back it up? There are 5 main things to look at: compliance, transparency, security, response, and experience. Let's go one by one. First up, compliance. The rules an exchange has to follow, and one of the clearest signs it takes trust and safety seriously. A legitimate exchange should be able to show it meets regulatory expectations and operates responsibly. That includes verifying users, monitoring suspicious activity, keeping proper records, and working with authorities when needed. It also affects what an exchange can say and promote. Claims need to be backed up. Risks need to be explained clearly. And because rules may vary from region, products, warnings, and features can change depending on where a user is based. This is a big area where Binance stands out. Binance is now the most regulated crypto exchange in the world, with licenses, registrations, and authorizations across 20 jurisdictions. That includes ADGM in Abu Dhabi, where Binance became the first crypto exchange to receive a global license under its framework. Compliance is more than just legal paperwork. It creates accountability because the exchange has someone other than itself to answer to. The second thing is transparency. A safe exchange shouldn't feel like a black box. Users should understand what they're paying, what risks come with the product, and what happens if something changes or goes wrong. The exchange should also keep them updated on issues that help them make informed decisions. But transparency matters most when it comes to user assets. If you keep crypto on an exchange, you want to know those assets are actually there. And that's where proof of reserves comes in. Proof of reserves is a way for an exchange to show it has enough assets to cover what users hold on the platform. It takes a snapshot of user balances, then compares that with the assets the exchange holds. In Binance's case, it publishes proof of reserves with user assets backed 1-to-1 plus reserves. It also lets users check that their own assets are included. They can log in, open the verification page, and independently confirm their account was part of the report. That means they don't have to rely on a promise. They have something concrete they can check for themselves. Third on the list is security. This is usually the first thing people think of when they ask if an exchange is safe, and it makes sense. A serious exchange needs systems, teams, and controls protecting both the platform and its users. That starts with platform security. Cold storage is a good example. It means keeping assets offline, away from systems that could be exposed to remote attackers. Because if funds aren't sitting in an internet-connected wallet, they're much harder to reach. But storage is only one layer. A safe exchange should also monitor risk in real time, flag suspicious activity, detect malicious addresses, and keep testing its own systems for weaknesses. Account security is equally important. Some of it happens in the background, like spotting unusual logins or warning users when something looks off. But users also need tools they can use themselves. Common examples include two-factor authentication and device management. Binance also offers anti-phishing codes, withdrawal address whitelisting, and Binance Verify, which lets users check whether a link or email can be trusted. That kind of verification is becoming more important because AI can be used to produce fake messages and images, which can make scams much more convincing. But just as AI enables new threats, it can also strengthen defense. Binance uses AI-based checks, real-time monitoring, and dedicated security teams to help spot suspicious activity across areas like P2P trading, payments, and withdrawals before risky transfers go through. But one of the strongest defenses is still awareness. That's why Binance publishes security guidance through Binance Academy and keeps users updated on threats they should watch out for. The fourth thing to look at is response. That can mean fast customer support that doesn't leave users hanging. But just as important is what happens if something goes wrong. A safe exchange is one that's always ready to act. If there's suspicious activity, users should be alerted. If a withdrawal looks risky, there should be checks. And if funds linked to crime touch the platform, there should be teams that can investigate, work with law enforcement, and help freeze assets where possible. In 2025, Binance processed more than 71,000 law enforcement requests and helped authorities confiscate more than $131 million in assets linked to illicit activity. It also helped freeze over $12 million in suspected illicit proceeds linked to approval phishing scams. And for the most extreme situations, Binance has SAFU, the Secure Asset Fund for users, a $1 billion emergency reserve created to protect users' assets. It exists for the kind of scenario every other security process is there to prevent. But that's the point. Safe exchanges don't just prepare for normal days, they prepare for worst-case scenarios too. And finally, let's talk about experience. That means the track record of the exchange, its leadership, and the reputation it has built for users over time. A brand new exchange might seem exciting, but if it hasn't been properly tested yet, how do you know how it will perform when the market gets rough? Has it handled bull markets and bear markets, heavy traffic, regulation changes and security threats? That's not to say it won't do well, but with an experienced exchange, you're not judging only on potential. You have a track record to look at. Binance has been operating since 2017. It's been through multiple crypto cycles and has grown to become the world's largest crypto exchange, now with more than 300 million users. It's led by CEO Richard Tang and co-founder Yi He, who bring years of experience from both traditional finance and crypto. And while experience doesn't prove safety on its own, it does show how the exchange has handled actual pressure over time, because a safe exchange doesn't just ask you to trust it, it gives you reasons to.